Alright, before we start, here's a warning. Please make a backup copy of your game. Here I have zipped this up, I sent to press zip folder, and I named it Game Backup. Alright, now we're going to take a look at burning shadows with Blender for Unity for people that have Unity free version. Okay, so first we launch Blender. Then we open a scene. We open the scene that has the building in it. Alright. So this matches 1-for-1 the scene within Unity itself. That's going to take a couple minutes to open because I imported the original. So, users. Alright, so our first mission here is to burn a shadow at the ground level. To do so, I'm just going to illustrate it probably on the ground itself and not the other assets, because once you do one piece, you'll know how to do the other ones. Alright, over here, for the ground plane, you need to go into edit mode and hit A. This will highlight all the parts. Then, over here, I go image, new image, and I'll call this baked shadow, or how about sidewalk shadow. I have to make it the size of the map I originally have on it, so that's a 2048 map, and I hit OK. Good. Next, make sure there's a light in your scene. For this light, I'm using a sunlight. If you go over here to image and render, you'll see that by rendering it, you get these shadows right here. You also see that the shadow is relatively dark. That doesn't matter, but maybe you should lighten it up a little bit, and you do that by clicking on the light. Okay, fine, I'll point to the light over here. Where's that directional light? There's point light. Here's lamp. There he is, lamp. So here, I'm just going down to this one. This is a sun, by the way. And its shadow color is right here. I can lower that shadow color to something a little bit more meaningful. And to check that out, I just hit the camera and render it again. There we go. So now we're getting some different levels of detail here in the shadow area. Also, I like how it's pointing in this direction, but I want a longer looking shadow. It adds a little bit more dramatic look to it. So here I'm just going to take this and rotate it just a little bit this way. Now I'm getting these shadows that creep further off. Alright. Now you click on the ground plane in object mode. You go over to the camera. Go to bake. In this I want a shadow. Alright. Now I'll just hit bake. Clear your margins out. There we go. I have my shadow map. Now how do I use it? Well, you take and look for the original texture that's on it, which is sidewalk TGA, and we're going to open that in GIMP. Then I go back to Blender and save out my shadow map. Here I've made a directory in the Unity workflow under assets called shadows. This is my sidewalk shadow. Let's mark that as Targa. And go ahead and hit save an image. Alright, so now I go back to GIMP and open that shadow. Again, that's under shadows. Here's sidewalk shadow. And now it's behind it. So I'm just going to edit copy it. And then over here on this one, I'm going to edit paste it. Okay, I'll zoom out. Click this button right here for the layer. And I could probably set this to multiply. And then I could turn it down some. Again, you want still detail in your shadow area. Alright, now that you've got that done, we can go save as, and we save it right over the top of the sidewalk TGA. That's why I wanted you to make a backup copy. Okay, and then I can go back to Blender. Oh no, Unity. Oops. And that should update. I'll probably have to move the building just a little bit, or move the ground plane, because there's no way to get it perfectly one-on-one. So the first thing I can do is take and shut shadows off. In this case, I'm going to turn shadows to no shadows, and you can see I still have a shadow there. And then I'm going to move it back so it's with an alignment with the building. Now that that's in alignment, all the other pieces should fall into place. So that's how you get your shadow. Again, you have to make sure all the lights in your scene are not casting shadows. No shadows there. Looks like I got another light maybe. Oh, that's right. I got to get rid of my shadow maps. So here under light mapping, I'm just going to clear that data out. There we go. So you don't have to worry about clearing it because you didn't have that. Okay, 7 minutes. I'm going to try that again very quickly. Okay, I'm going to do it with the brick. Brick building. Tab. A. Go in here. Image. New image. Building shadow. Have to match the map. In this case, it's a 4096 map. And remember, I'm turning that down in Unity, but I need something to match it still. Okay, I'm not moving the light at all. Just clicking on the building in object mode. It has to be the building. And then I can go over here, bake, okay, that's done. Now there is no light in the back of it, so if you want light to come from the other way, like a very dim thing, you know, you could add another point light into the mix. For demonstration purposes only, I'm just going to use the one light, but you can use as many lights as you want. Alright, so image, save image as, and I'm going to save this within my desktop, Unity workflow, game, assets, shadows, and we'll call this building shadow period Targa. Okay. Then you find the original map that's on it, and that is over here. Don't forget there's two maps, so it's under brick. And that brick map, there's two variations. There's a color map and a normal map. You should have that too. This one's brick color map high res COL. I'll hit close all. Discard changes. File. Oops. File open. There's brick color map. I will open my shadows. I'll go to this one and copy it. Go to this one and edit paste it. Go to layers and hit that button. Set it to multiply. Lower it down. File. Save as. And I'll save it right over the top of it. Replace, export, save. Again, going back to Unity to check that change out. And you can see I now have shadows on the buildings. And they're pretty high res too. That's what I like about this workflow. That it does a nice job of even look at capturing the surface detail. Isn't that amazing? So as it goes down to brick. Alright, there is my workflow on how to conquer the Unity game engine's inability to bake shadows because of the free version. Alright, enjoy, and on to the next video if there is one. I think this is the end of the unit though, so if there's another unit, I'll see you then. If not, watch the intro to the series and start all over again. Enjoy.